What's up, people? Just doing a quick overview of my latest score, which is the Tanic from Jeff Tuffthumbz. Mine's the copper Tanic. He did a video on it a little bit ago, but I figured I'd do my own. But basically, I'm a user, guys. I like to use my knives, and I wanted something with a user finish, but with some embellishment. So I wanted everything just stone washed, and the blade's totally stone washed, but I still wanted the embellishment, and with that, I had wanted something different than anyone else, so I asked him if he would do copper, and he said absolutely. So I sent him some copper, and this is the result, which I'm really happy with. He sent me some work in progress pictures when he was doing this, and it was totally smooth, and I was like, yeah, that looks good. He asked me, do you want me to pattern it? You want me to do something with it? And I'll be honest, guys, I was a little uncertain about it because I'm not really like a creative type dude. I don't really have no sense of art or any type of shit like that. So um, I'm like, well, whatever. So he ended up doing this pattern, which I really like. It definitely looks a lot better than it did just the flat, smooth copper. But he did the pattern on there, also on the copper backspacer. And then I also have he did a copper standoff on the pocket clip. So I think it ended up looking really nice. And as you can see, I already started the patina. You're getting the dark spots in the crevices there. And it's kind of funny, the only place where my hand doesn't hit the knife at all when I'm, using or holding the knife, it still kind of looks like a new penny up there. So, but as I touch it, it gets more hand oils and shit on it, it'll start to patina just like the rest of it. So it'll be cool. But really like what he did with it there. He did the Persian style blade, which I like. The lockup on this thing is nice and early. It's totally rock solid. There's no play. You can't force no play in any direction. It's just a really freaking solid knife. So, did an excellent job with that. The D10 on this is really strong. I mean, you couldn't shake this out. You could try your hardest and it ain't coming out. But the result of that is obviously, great flipping action. You just pull back and this thing flies open straight up and down. There's absolutely no wrist flick needed. So he did a great job with that. The lock is pretty much non-sticky. If every once in a while it'll catch a little bit to where it's a little bit sticky, but with any titanium frame lock, that shit happens till you break it totally in. And like I said, I've only had this for a couple of days, so other than that, I see no real structural flaws with this knife at all. The blade is a little off center, but to me that's no big deal. I'm pretty much at this level with it. Centering doesn't affect the functioning of the knife whatsoever. The only time I have a problem with centering is if it's rubbing. At that point, it's affecting functionality. It could affect the flipping action, and to be honest, a knife shouldn't mar itself. If it's going to get scratches and shit on a blade, I want it to be from me using it, not the knife. So that's where I have a problem with centering, and this isn't rubbing, isn't close to rubbing, and it's not going to rub, so I'm not there's no problem with that. I know some people are anal about that, want something totally dead center, and that's fine. To each their own, and it really don't matter. That's just my little rant on it and what I expect out of a knife. But other than that, this thing that is the only minor issue at all with this thing. Everything else is well done. It's really comfortable in hand. The jimping he did a great job with the jimping. It's not, overly aggressive and painful, but it's still functional. It still works. It's not, just there for looks. So as far as in the hand, it feels great. Like I said, you can't feel the pocket clip or anything, nothing like that. It just is really solid. It fits my hands great. I have probably medium to large size hands, but my fingers and shit are skinny. I got more of the long skinny fingers than like the big meat hooks. So besides that, like I said, I think he did a great job. Size comparison wise, this is Strider SMF. The handle length on these two is almost dead on. The blade is obviously longer on the SMF, but in the overall length is longer of the SMF. But actually, with the way the blade's designed, if you just go off cutting edge, you get more cutting edge with the Tanic. So thickness wise, the Tanic is a lot beefier than the SMF. You got some really thick tile in there, and this thing is a little tank. So, but at the same point in time, with the tie, you're gonna get some weight. It is a heavier knife, but to me, that's fine. I'm not one that whines about weight. it's, you know, unless a knife is like, you know, I got a pound of a knife in my pocket, I really don't give a shit how much it weighs, and I actually like prefer to be able to know the knife's there and I still got it on me. So I think it's great weight to it. I like the little, you know, to have a little heft on it, and it feels good in the hand. So other than that, like I said, pretty great knife. I think he did a great job. As we speak right now, this is no longer even my knife. Got behind on a couple things, so I had to make it up, and it really sucks because this thing's pretty sick. But you know, you do what you got to do. The only cool thing about that is it's going to someone that's real close to me. His good friend, so I see him quite often. So I'll be able to, you know, still play with this thing and mess around with it constantly. So I'm actually really glad that that worked out like that, and it didn't go somewhere else to where I'll never freaking see it again. But overall, for his first, you know, run of frame lock flippers, I think he did a hell of a job. You know, people have been doing this for a long time and can't get flipping action right, and he nailed it on his, you know, first batch of them. So really great action. Like I said, just rock solid, great folder, I'd say. So I definitely think they're worth what you know, people are paying for them. I did see the auction, $3,600. I'll be quite honest, I don't think any knife is worth that much money. To me, it's not. But to someone, if it is, that's fine too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying anyone's wrong for doing what they want. You know, you do what you do in life, and you know what you feel is worth it. To me, there isn't a knife. I like birches, and you know, Jeremy Marsh knives are like a dream knife to me. But at the same point in time, I don't even want a knife that costs, you know, $2,200 just because I won't use it. My example of that, you know, is my Roseni. This was an expensive knife, and it's right there at the top of my range of where I'm willing to spend, just because I'm a user, and it gets hard for me to justify it, even though if it's a great knife, you know, totally functional at a certain price point, to me, it just gets hard to use. And this was even a little bit, but I'm getting way off the topic here. So, yep, great knife, guys. If you haven't handled one or whatever, I would definitely try to get one of these. I definitely think it's a great knife, and he's doing good things. So I'm sure if you're watching this, you've already checked out his channel anyway. So great knife, did an excellent job, and I'm super happy with it. So I'm out, people. Take care. Hope you enjoyed.